Hello, my name is Stewart Beck. I'm the President and CEO of the Asia Pacific Foundation of Canada, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about what we've done in the last year at the Foundation. There's been a number of research projects that we've undertaken, but probably the highlights are the Investment Monitor, where we are in the second year of tracking Canadian and Asian investment back and forth. First year was Asian investment in Canada, and this year we were tracking Canadian investment in Asia. And really one of the remarkable statistics out of many that are there in the monitor is the increase in the amount of Canadian pension fund investment in Asia. In particular, for example, India, where it's grown from 2% in 2014 to 24% last year. So just an indication of some of the work that we're doing in that particular space. Another research project that we undertook this year was e-commerce in China. And it's not a how to do e-commerce in China. It's more about understanding the culture and the reasons for the growth of that particular retail business to consumer business in China. It's going to be very helpful for Canadian companies looking to improve, particularly SMEs, their capacity of doing business in that part of the world. Also with China, we had a very successful start to our Track 2 dialogue on energy. The Foundation is a secretariat, I'm the co-chair, and we're talking about how we can improve our energy relationship with a country in the world that's looking at using what we have to offer. So it's not just oil and gas, we're talking about nuclear, we're talking about renewables, and in particular, one area which is quite interesting to the Chinese, marine renewables, tidal power, and other areas in the marine renewable space, which is new to China and is presenting a great opportunity to Canada. Of course, the National Opinion Poll is one of our hallmark activities that we do on an annual basis. Last year we did two polls, smaller polls, one on Canadian attitudes to Asia after the Trump inauguration, and it was very interesting to see in that poll the Canadian view towards a free trade agreement with China. Again, it's gone up since 2014 to 55%, and really since 4 or 5 years ago, it's been a 19% approval rating. So again, interesting results from that poll. The second poll that we did last year was on millennial attitudes towards Asia. And again, one would assume that millennials are more positively disposed. And if you take a look at the poll, you'll see one interesting result, which is the younger millennials, if you split it into two groups, 18 to 25, is more supportive of engagement with Asia and China in particular than the older millennials from 25 to 35. So again, I'd encourage you to go to our website, take a look at those polls, and get an insight into what the younger people in Canada are thinking about Asia, and that really rolls into our conversation around Asia competence. It's a long-term strategy on the part of the Foundation. How do we get more Canadians engaged with Asia, and in particular young people? So we are doing work with the BC government on building Asia modules into the grade 10 through grade 12 curriculum, and we're extending that now into the elementary school curriculum. And we also are doing our CoOp program with some really interesting sponsors in the private sector, including Noah Holdings, where currently we have 4 students in Hong Kong on a summer program there. We have a program with Langara College where we had 2 students in a high-tech organization in India for 6 months. We have a very interesting and growing program with the Cansbridge Fellowship, where the fellowship is really designed to take young Canadian leaders and expose them to a working opportunity in Asia to help build their leadership skills. So again, the whole competence program focused on the next generation is really an important part of our long-term strategy. A very key group, we have 2 really important groups in the Foundation. The first is our Distinguished Fellows. We went out with an open competition asking people to become part of the process, and we now have a very strong group of Distinguished Fellows, some from the past, but new Distinguished Fellows from across Canada and also from Asia. And they have added a really important dimension to what we do in terms of our opinion pieces in various Canadian media, and they were very helpful in the context of support for the CPTPP and Canada's ratification of that process, signing and ratification of the process. So they are a very important group. And then of course we have a fantastic board, and compliments to their good work, to their support for the activities that we've undertaken, their help in the operations of the foundation, and they also have been critical in really a signature networking group that we have, which is the Asia Business Leaders Advisory Council. We've had another meeting this year at the beginning of March in Toronto, and a good group came from Asia together with our strong group from Canada and came up with 3 recommendations which are, I think, are critical to what we would like to see going forward, and something that we have encouraged the government to consider. One is early and quick ratification of the CPTPP. The second is extending by a year the time international students can stay in Canada to work. And then the third is to build an Asia strategy into the government supercluster strategy to be able to take the opportunities that will be developed through the superclusters into the burgeoning markets and growing markets of Asia. So again, ABLAC, a very useful tool to help us and our stakeholders understand what it would take to better engage with Asia. I would also like to welcome this year new members to our team. Victor Thomas, who is the VP for our Prairies region. Victor is based in Regina and has done some great work there. Christine Nakamura is now our VP for the Toronto office, and Christine brings a wealth of experience, particularly with her great work on the Kakahashi project. And Volipti Barano, who is now our VP operations. So welcome them to the Asia Pacific Foundation and to the work that we do with our engagement with Asia. It's been a busy year. We just scratched the surface on the things that we've done, but I hope you come away and understand that the Asia Pacific Foundation is there to support Canada and our Canadian stakeholders in their engagement and future growth in Asia.